Hello, fam. Welcome to another episode of Elevated Engineering. I'm your host, engineer who's elevated. Uh, going down a couple of things. There was no show last week to discuss, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Actually, I think the camera is a little high. I'm sorry. Let me just adjust a little bit. And there we go. Okay. So, let's go ahead and get right into it. You can tell I'm a little off my game today because I've been off for so long, but So, let's go ahead and get right into it. K-pop propaganda. Is K-pop Korean propaganda? I recently had an experience with the K-pop phenomenon, and I know a lot of the kids like it or whatever, but pretty sure it's propaganda, and I'm going to show you how it's done. So give me a quick second while I bring up this browser. Okay, so I was recently looking at, my Twitter feed like normal because, of course, like everyone, I have no life, and social media is how I get a lot of news, unfortunately. But we do work what we can. But what I noticed is that when I would go to my trends, and you can see I'm already on it, but just to show you guys I'm not, playing, I go to my trends, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right, so let's go to trends. Let's go to entertainment, right? So when you scroll down on entertainment, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I don't know what Go On is, but that sounds like some K-pop stuff. But you can see there's K-pop trending, right? I've never searched for K-pop until a couple of days ago when it kept showing up. So you go to Kang Daniel, right? We go whatever Ravi, all K-pop, whatever hell this is. Okay, BTS is a big one. I think that's a really big K-pop one. But here's what's funny. I've never looked up this kind of type of stuff, but I want to show you all something. So when I say I'm not interested in BTS Spotify because that is K-pop, I'm not interested in Hellcat at all. I don't know what life goes on, not interested, right? And I can keep doing this. I want to say I'm not interested in this either. And I'm not interested in Kang. Basically, I'm going through and saying everything that is K-pop related, I am not interested in. Yeah, because it's just not my thing. To each your own, but it's not really my thing. Here's the issue. I say I'm not interested, and I click on entertainment again, which refreshes it, right? Or it should refresh it. Okay, so it refreshed it, right? Here's a funny thing. Go on. Shows back up. Oh wait. I'm sorry. I didn't refresh it. I just reopened it. So let me go ahead and refresh it. Do a whole full refresh so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Kang Daniel shows back up. Ravi shows back up. BTS on Spotify shows back up. Life Goes On shows back up. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? But let's try it again, because maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe it's my Twitter, something's wrong with it, right? So let's say, okay, not interested. Not interested. This is all K-pop again. Not interested. Not interested in Kang Daniel. Right? So let's go back. For you. Go back to entertainment. It should say that that I need to refresh the page again, right? Yeah, so let's refresh the page. Okay. So Go One comes back. King Daniel comes back. And Ravi, the same stories come back. This is propaganda. And it's foreign entities doing it. The question is, why are they doing it? And why is Twitter allowing it? It's just interesting. I'm literally showing. No one else is gonna do this. No, I'm literally showing you network science in action. This is something I study heavily. This is how they implement an agenda. This is how they brainwash people. But it's like, why? This is a very clear example of foreign agents using social media platforms to brainwash you. I'm 100% certain this is propaganda. So I can't lie, I went down a rabbit hole and I had to start asking myself, are the K-pop stars slaves? I know, it's funny, it's ridiculous, but hear me out. So I did some more searching, right? This is definitely the rabbit hole that I wasn't expecting to go down, but look at this. All right, so K-pop boy groups, right? Okay, whatever. This is just the first Google search I did where I just put K-pop groups because I want to see this. And all these K-pop groups showed up. This is a mill. This is like a mill of young Korean really kids being put in these groups. Now I'm sure they lived, a decent life, but look at this. Look how many groups, K-pop groups, and you're okay. I get it. People say, oh, well, this is pop. This is just pop culture. Okay, so I started looking at more. There's like a new bunch of K-pop groups every year that comes out. It's like a mill. People get tired. Take them out. I know we have our Hollywood stuff too, and we had when we were growing up, people had boy bands. Okay, there was NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and all that. Girls loved them. Okay, that's fine. But I feel like this is a little different. This is more like you. We're gonna make you dance and sing for 18 hours a day. We're gonna have you go on these tours. You're gonna sell whatever the hell. And another reason I thought of it is because one of my nieces had come up and talked to me about it. Now, which was interesting because they listen to what they want to listen to. I'm old. They don't care about my opinion of music. But we had growing up, we had J-pop, and it wasn't like this. It was like you watch J-pop because that was the intro to your favorite anime. You'd be like, Dan, blah, 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 blah. That bullshit, right? Catchy as hell, but you'll never hear me bumping J-pop. I lived in Japan. I didn't listen to that shit, right? But I just think this K-pop thing is a whole nother level. Just for example, what was the largest group? So this NCT, I'm sure it's super popular. Neo Culture Technology. I don't even know what the hell that means. It sounds like a software company. It's currently the largest group in K-pop with 23 members spread across multiple fixed and rotational subunits. This is a K-pop football team plantation. And it's interesting because I guess there's a Chinese pop group or something too, but it's interesting because they rotate these dudes out and they're like, y'all ain't go over here, y'all, you know what I'm saying? When this guy breaks his leg, put this new K-pop star motherfucker to replace him. And I just think it's fascinating that people. I mean, the whole purpose is to eat this stuff up. That's why these things are here. But my question is, what's the agenda? Because a lot of these dudes, I can't lie, they look like girls, and they look like they doing more than just dancing. They look like they, servicing. So I'm not sure. I just thought that was interesting because I think that there's a lot of there's a lot of like brainwashing going on in our kids' heads. I don't have any kids, but if I did, I would. I mean, what do you do? You kind of tell them, but they go listen and learn what they want. But this is interesting because I think it's definitely propaganda, and I think it's definitely like a form of slavery for the K-pop stars. You don't even know who these motherfuckers are. It's 23 members in one group. That's Shalimar. The Wu-Tang Clan. At least we can name all the Wu-Tang Clan. The RZA, the JZA. You know what I mean? Like, at least we can name that shit. But this is just, I don't know. So just be careful with your kids with this craziness. Because K-pop is here, it's huge, and I think it's definitely propaganda. It's definitely going to be used to influence your kids heavily. Moving on. So I thought I'd get a state of the art. That's Altered Reality Technologies. That's my software company. This one is to get some insight. I mean, I love developing apps for other people. However, the end goal is to create entirely new IP that'll last for generations. Okay, so in terms of IP, my goal is to create something that I'm gonna like, but my people will also like, and thus, ideally, the world will like. I'm already working on it. It's just it's gonna take some time, but you all know when it comes out. You'll definitely know. But what I'm really focusing on right now, in terms of art, is application development. So I'm doing a lot of like Android Unity projects. I'm going to be doing iOS soon, and that's kind of where I'm going. But I'm doing a lot of work for other people, which is cool. I like doing that because I also get to meet new people. I get to learn new stuff, and I get to grow my platform and my business, organically by just going out there. So one big thing that's really been on my mind is what are the steps after I graduate from my school. And I'll likely still be in school in some way. I probably won't be, full-time grad student. It depends if I go on for my doctorate or not. I don't think I will, but that's neither here nor there. But one of the things I'm focusing on was what's going to be the next step of art. How do I use elevated engineering, which is this platform and this channel, to build it? And I think the next big thing is going to be obviously getting into the VR, the MR, AR applications more and more. As people know, that really is my specialty. But I really want to focus. You gotta understand too. The VR, MR market, we're a few years away from it really exploding, which it will. But a big thing about the VR, MR is the hardware. I mean, we really want. My goal is to eventually we won't even need headsets. That's the goal. But in order to do that, you have to get people to adopt the headsets that are out right now. And that's just the way it's got to be. Until either me or somebody else or a bunch of people, we get it past that. Well, that's where we are, though. That's the reality right there. Is because, truth be told, VR, MR technology is going to take some work. I mean, you think about it. VR, quote unquote, has been around since maybe the late 70s, 80s, maybe. Well, I should say 3D technology. You know, with you go into the movie theater and you have the little 3D glasses that give you a headache, all that stuff. We're building from there. It's gonna get to the point where, I mean, even though that is cool, I want to get to a point where someone either steps into a room and then they're in a whole nother environment, or you could pull up maybe a hologram or something just by even on your phone. A good thing is, like you see a lot of tech shows, they'll have the translucent kind of devices. They're not necessarily phones, but they're like all-in-one devices, and you can pull it up. A big thing is the show I call The Expanse. I love it because they'll come in with with their device, and then for everyone to see it, they'll just flick it onto the like either a open space where there's a hologram speaking, and it's a 3D version everyone can see, or they flick it onto a monitor just simply by doing a brush stroke or a flip like that. And I just think that's so cool. I think that's where we're heading if we're not already there. And yeah, I think that's where I'm heading at. That's the field that I'm going to be heavy into. Also, big data science, because I think having access to all that data is actually very important, especially for black folk. Like, people got all the data they want on us because we put everything out there on social media. So that's where I'm kind of heading, man, because that's where money is gonna be. Also, let's keep it real. And growing this brand, which is art, into that, I mean, you really got to find out where you start at. Where did I start at? And developing these applications is I think the best practice for a lot of people who want to get their business started. That's why I recommend people, they just start going ahead and going for it, man. That's the best thing to do. Is just, in my opinion, is jump in. You can stay in school all you want, but the best thing is really just to just jump into it and get paid for it. But you gotta be on your stuff. So that's where the state of art comes in. We get our different contracts with people, with individuals now and teams, and that's how we make money. Doing work. Granted, once I finish school, I'll be able to really, really go hard body more and more, which will be a relief. And I won't have to say, I wish I could take this client on, but until either I hire someone, I won't be able to do it because I got the school, blah blah blah. And clients don't want to hear that, but it is the truth. I think it'll make me better as an engineer and as a businessman to go about it that way. I think that's how people really should be doing it. If you're going to be at school, you need to be either working or having your own business or something like that. Otherwise, you're just grading papers. That's nice, but grades don't pay bills. No, they do not. So that's the state of the art. End of 2020. There won't be any more updates till 2021. So next topic, the realities of hiring, man. It's another reality segment. I just want to say sometimes it's difficult to hire people because you really need to see the potential in them. And if the potential isn't there, I mean, you're kind of the potential for. I'll say this. I'm gonna be fair. I don't want to just jump in and just say. Let me think. Like the potential. Everyone has potential. Right? Everyone you hire has potential. So I don't want to say if the potential isn't there. But in general, everyone's also a risk that you hire. I know that this is not the first time I've ever hired someone, but this is the first time in a long while that I've actually had to hire someone. And then as my own business, I will say that this is one of the first times having to hire people. I recently hired a designer, man. So far, it's been pretty good. I don't want to say, I like that. It's been pretty good, man. I hope it stays that way. But this is not about the designer specifically. This is about just hiring in general, which I will be doing more of in the years to come. So this is why I wanted to kind of touch on the realities of hiring. Uh, just because you hire someone doesn't mean you don't give them also a specific number of chances. Okay? What do I mean? Everyone's going to make mistakes. People are always going to try you. They try me all the time. It just is what it is. I also, you get recommendations to hire people a lot of times. I mean, I haven't made it to the point yet where I have to hire a firm to hiring people. Who knows if I'll ever get to that point? You never know. But at this point, it's more based off recommendation. And yeah, so no, the beautiful thing about hiring people is that you get to fire them. This is the truth. And sometimes sometimes you gotta enjoy that shit too. You can't be afraid to fire people, man. You can't be. I mean, look, I've been fired. I fire people from jobs. It's a part of life. Sometimes I really do enjoy firing it. Like, yo, fuck this motherfucker. Yo, this guy's out of here. Sometimes I don't, but I say this. A lot of times I do, but sometimes I don't. Because it's like, when you fire someone, that's also someone that's a workforce, a piece of the machine that you're losing. So you have to make up that work. Even if you still got the capital, it's still difficult to find talent. Talent is hard to find, man. Don't let people tell you that. And the people who have the businesses are the most to lose by shoddy talent. So you fire someone, you got to replace them. You got to pay money to replace that person. So it just is what it is, but that's the realities of hiring, man. Like, know that if you are running a business, which I am, hiring is it's a part of the process, man. Hiring, and I'm telling you, man, like when you hire somebody good, you just like, oh God, this person is great. I wish I would have met this person earlier, blah blah blah. But if you don't hire the right person, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's your business at the end of the day. We've all worked for people. We've all complained about our jobs. They're gonna complain about you. It just is what it is. So I think that's just something for people to really take in and really. I'm always gonna give realities of my business or wherever I am in my life, so other people can learn for it. So if you gotta hire somebody, fire them and enjoy that shit. So with that being said, that's it for today's episode of Elevated. Thanks again, fam. Like, share, and subscribe if you like the content I am bringing. Oh, by the way, everybody have a happy new year. Let's all make it to 2021. That's your assignment. Let's make it to 2021. Because 2020 has been a motherfucker. I can, woo, all around the world. Thanks again, fam. Be safe. Stay corona free. That's it.